Lesson C6, Intermediate Confluence. Topic 1, Using the built-in Confluence macros. The learning objectives for this topic are to understand how to make more advanced content using headings and layouts, text and images, info boxes, tables, task lists, dates, user references and statuses, and tables of contents. So I've made a page here with some example content, and I'm going to go through each of the different elements so you can see how to add it and get some inspiration of when to use it. So in this page we've got two sections at the top here, and we've got some headings and some dividers. We've dropped some images, and then we've used some bullet points. We have an element called an info box, which lets us do a highlight. We have URLs embedded in the text, and then we have some tables. We have a task list, and we have a table of contents at the bottom. So how does that look when we edit the page? So here we've used our layout tool that we've seen before to add sections and change the layout. I've used a 3-section layout in the top, and then to make a heading, you just type some text, and then you have a drop down at the top left here to select the heading style. So this first one I've made heading 1. Then we have a horizontal divider. Now horizontal divider, a shortcut, can be just to put 4 lines in wiki markup. And the undo button also works if you press Z, or what you can do is go to the insert menu and do horizontal rule there. So that's what we've added. I'll add one back. Then we've just got text that you can type or it's pasted in from somewhere, and then we've got bullet lists which we just add from the toolbar at the top. Now the image is just drag and dropped into place, and one of the options you get when you drop it is the size. There's some defaults, but you can also type exact pixel sizes. You can apply links to it, borders to it, and change other properties. We'll just leave it as a basic image for now. Now info boxes, again, these are added from the drop down menu, and under the other macros at the bottom, it's useful to look. The info box is actually shortcutted, but if you click other macros, then you get lots of different options, and we'll come to those later. So the info box is available under the formatting, and you can see here that there's actually several other options, including making things look like a code block, having warnings or tips or info there. That's what we've used to make this one. And then the info box itself, when you add it, you get an optional title, and then you get the content. Now the content you just paste in, you just type in directly into the info box itself. So then moving down, we've got a table here. Now tables are added just like you would do in a Word document. So we can add them here, insert table, and we select the number of rows and columns, and we can have the first column as a header or the first row as a header if we want. The column sizes are automatically set initially, but you can drag them. Once you've put text in the table, you can drag them to fix the width to make it look good. Then finally down here we have a task list. Now these are added again from the drop down, and if I just insert another one to show, we had a task list, and actually this is trying to continue on from the previous one. It's already picked up that I've got one. So we can just type tasks. Now what's good about the task list is you can @ other users. So if I type the @ sign, then I can @ a colleague and say an action's on them. I can also put a date that something's due by. If I put a // it brings up a date picker. And I can also put a status. So here we've got one saying done, and to do that we drop in a status, and we can put in what it's going to say. Maybe it says red, and we can pick the color from a drop down, and then we've got a red status. So you could make a task list as an individual list like this, or you could actually put it in a table and have each column you could have a due date, a person responsible, and a status done. But that's a very easy way of just making lists related to things that you need to track. And then at the bottom here, we've got a table of contents. Now, I've added it at the end just for ease of demonstrating, but normally this would be at the top of a larger piece. So the table of contents automatically picks up the different heading levels. So you'll see we've got two here. We've got a heading 1 and a heading 2. You can see it indicated at the top left there. So when I save the page, here is my table of contents automatically generated from the headings. This is just the same as it would be in Word or another word processor. And when we click on those, they act like bookmarks to take you to the point in the page. So it's pretty handy if you've got a longer document. So that's a brief overview of some of the other things that you can do in Confluence. In the next topics, we're going to look at then collaborating with others, sharing, commenting on pages, and also adding watches and unwatching pages so you get alerts when things change.